Hey everyone, and welcome to the final week review, playoff preview of this year, the 2021-2022 season. As always, I'm your commissioner, aka Mr. Modest, aka 10-win season. I'm joined today by Joel Gibson, the reigning champion. Joel, how are we doing today?
You know, we're doing amazing. It's unbelievable what Team Gibson has accomplished this year. As a reigning champion, I would like to call this season, or regular season at least, a success. How are you doing, Brandon?
I'm doing fine. There was, I played Eric this week. It was just a lot of me watching other matchups, getting ready for next week, and finding out who I was going to play. All week, there's been a lot of topsy-turvy options. He might play, they might play, what's going to go on. But we'll get right into it here. And as always, we'll start with the champs matchup. Joel Gibson wins 6-5 by 8 rebounds over Cody, clinching the East Division and clinching that 1 seed.
Unfucking believable!
Yeah.
Anything's possible!
Yeah, we're all really upset about it. I don't understand how he had such a bad draft position and he still got the 1 seed. Like, I don't even know what to do about it.
I gave up all my picks to win last year. I gave it all. I laid it all on the line. And none of you fuckers could keep me from the 1 seed. It's unbelievable. Go on.
It's absolutely unbelievable. Joel gets his 11th win on the season. Cody loses and ends with 9 wins. Let's see here. Just to be sure, I don't want to misquote anybody. Yes, he'll end with 9 wins. And Cody will end up being the 6th seed once we get there. We'll go through it. Next matchup is, well, kind of a bummer because I'm just going to do the Steven at Neiman. Neiman loses. Neiman's eliminated. I think that if Neiman had paid a little bit more attention and used those 2 additional ads, you can't leave anything on the table. You just can't and expect to win, especially against Steven. At the end of the day, it just didn't matter, though. I mean, these categories were pretty widely stretched open anyway, even with those 2 ads. Maybe free throws, but at the end of the day, Steven cleaned his clock. Steven eliminates Neiman. Steven is going to be the 3 seed, and Neiman is eliminated. So we'll see you next year for Dynasty. The consolation bracket means nothing this year, so I'm not going to talk about those matchups. I'm not going to talk about those owners. I'm just going to say, see you next year.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. We'll see what your pick is in Dynasty. That's it.
As for Neiman, he had Jokic and Curry sit games this week, which that's super tough. His whole team is basically those guys.
Yeah.
So without those, it was just kind of a wrap. Steven is too good to not have your best players playing. Congratulations to Steven on an impressive season.
A very impressive season. Wowza. And he gets a 3 seed. It's unfortunate because Kyle does have the tiebreakers with Steven based on divisional. So they actually, I think Kyle might have beat Steven twice. Now I have to know. So live on the air here. I don't want to be giving out false information. Let's see. It is Greek, Gobert, lost to Kyle, and lost to Kyle. Yes. So Kyle beat Steven twice. That's why Kyle's going to be the 2 seed. I couldn't remember if they were tied, and Kyle still had the better divisional record than Steven anyway. So that would have been the tiebreaker. Would have never got the whole way to points. But for the record, Kyle beat Steven both times. Steven gets the 3. Speaking of Kyle beat CJ. It was a little closer than I think Kyle would have wanted. He didn't use any of his ads. CJ used all of his ads. I don't blame him. Kyle wins, and he is the 2 seed. He wins the West Division despite not having the strongest last couple weeks. He's starting to get healthy, except for KD, of course. But his other players have been playing well.
Cade Cunningham went down.
He did go down. He's been out with that hip issue, so we don't know what that's going to be like heading into his matchup. We'll be watching. CJ loses, but he does still make it in the playoffs. He's going to be the 7 seed. Woo woo, go CJ. He has the tiebreaker with Doug, believe it or not. CJ beat Doug in the regular season. He beat me. He beat you, I believe, this year as well. So a good 8-8 from CJ this year gets him a battle with Kyle. So this is basically a rematch. It's going to be these two going at it again. And it's clear that it's going to be pretty close. I think Kyle's going to probably cycle a little bit more this time. But CJ is definitely not out of it. You're not out of it when you have LeBron James. And that's it at the end of the day. He's been playing sensationally. Lowry is now back and healthy.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going to happen with Nurkic, if there's going to be a trade, but we'll save that for the preview. Congratulations to Kyle for winning the West. Congratulations to CJ for making the playoffs.
Yeah, good seasons from both of these guys. If Kyle's team had been healthier, he would have ran away with the 1 seed. But he didn't.
He didn't.
He
folded
did.
like a house of cards. Like a house of cards. Oh my goodness. Next matchup is Doug demolishing Phil. Phil didn't have anything to play for. Doug, even if he would have lost, would have made it in based on these results anyway, and would have been the 8 anyway. So, not a lot to play for on either side. Congratulations to Doug for making the playoffs.
Yeah.
And Phil, we'll see you next year. I hope you're a little bit more involved and able to be involved. And you'll get to draft your own team. You'll get to have your own communication, things like that. It's going to be, I think we're going to see a completely different Phil next year, so I'm really excited for that. But thank you for jumping on in this season when the chips were really stacked against you, and you did get your first win. So you do have 1 win in the 3-keeper league era.
Yeah, he got saddled with a tough team, but we're glad to have him on, and Dynasty is going to be a completely different animal. I'm excited for it, especially how this year seems to be wrapping up.
Yeah. Next matchup, we've got Matt at Adam. This actually went down to the wire. Matt comes out on top in assists, and turnovers is also tied all of a sudden, but I think Matt's going to probably end up losing turnovers with Jackson still playing. But it won't matter regardless. He caught Adam in assists, and Adam misses the playoffs. Thanks, Adam. Your team was really good and got hot late and went on a really good streak.
Beat me late.
Yep. And really insane that he beat you late and still you got... I don't get it.
I thought, honestly, when he beat me, I thought I lost the 1 seed. I thought that was my one opportunity to have it. We were both on a 5-game winning streak, and he just narrowly got it from me. His team was not to be fucked with. I am happy to not see him in the playoff picture.
Absolutely, because he would be probably in that 8 or 7 spot and playing one of the top 2 seeds. But he's not. We'll see you next year, Adam. I know you've reached out and you're going to stay with us for Dynasty. That's exciting.
Woo!
If you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to reach out to me. And that goes for anybody if you're looking at it. Your bottom 4 teams, if you have any questions. The rule book is out and it's official. I didn't get too much feedback, so I'm just going with it. That's the rules. They can be adjusted if necessary, but we're focused on this year still.
Yeah.
Last matchup is me beating Eric.
No surprise.
I don't really have anything to say. I didn't have Harden the whole week. He did have that monster 4-point game. Beal has been out for me. I don't know if he's coming back before the All-Star break, so that's a problem. But some of my lower pieces... Oh, and Garland was out all week, too. Goodness, I had literally no one. And I still beat Eric, but that's not really saying much. Eric, thanks for playing this year. He ends with 3 wins. And, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I get a 10th win. I believe that is my 4th consecutive season with 10 wins, so that kind of feels good. Other than that, I'm actually going to be... Matt is the 4 seed. I'm the 5 seed. Matt beat me earlier this year. We have the same record. Yeah, I mean, that's really it. Power rankings don't really matter. We're just going to go off seeds now. The seeds don't reset round to round, obviously. Just reminding everybody of the rules. Round 1 is 20 play days, I believe, or at least 20 days long. It is going to be from the 7th the whole way to like the 26th or something like that. I think there's 4 or 5 non-playing days. So really it's like 15 days of actual playing. So everybody will get 15 ads, however many play days, and then the following round 2 will go back to just 14 ads. So just keep that in mind. I think you get 1 or 2 extra ads for the first round.
Super interesting because the NBA trade deadline is in that time period too.
Absolutely. There's still a lot that can happen, and I actually really like this. This week coming up, you're still going to be playing, but there's also going to be some gamesmanship as to, you know, players moving, players not moving, who might be out there that's worth picking up, things like that. And busts, really, because, I mean, you could pick someone up on speculation and it just not work out for you. And that would be a real problem because it's playoffs. There's no takebacks.
Hey, Gafford's going to be fine. You stop it. Stop it.
And Clax.
He's going to be fine, too. You stop it. So is Jonathan Isaac. God damn it. I don't like what you're insinuating. Let's go on.
Excellent. So with that being said, let's get right into the playoffs. The first matchup, we'll start with the number 1 seed, the reigning champ. It's nice that we get to cover all that in one single go here, I suppose. Will be the home team against Doug. And I tell you what, Joel Gibson, I talked to you last night. I'm more than happy to say that I talked to you last night about if you were thinking of tanking and maybe getting that 2 seed because you wanted to avoid Doug and would rather play CJ. That didn't happen.
No, for the record, it was a multi-layered question. It wasn't just about Doug, although I don't like playing Doug. Nothing against you, Doug. I think your team is more respectable than your record. I think you should have been like a top 4 team. So, tough matchup in the first round. The news on Lonzo Ball was not great today.
End of March, mid to end of March. So Doug would have to make it to the championship to even have Lonzo back for a couple games even. He's not going to play back-to-backs, obviously, or anything like that, or I doubt it.
Zach LaVine, news today was not great on him. Mm-hmm. News on Larry Nance wasn't great today, which was a really nice speculative ad, but do you just drop him because you need every ad you can right now because you want to put your Bulls players on the IR? I don't know, but it's going to be tough. Any matchup I've had with Doug thus far has been very, very close. Obviously, I'm going to pick myself. I like that I have home court advantage. Mm-hmm. And overall, I'm moderately healthy.
Except for Gafford and Clax and Isaac. Those names we talked about.
Yeah, I mean...
Okay.
Yeah, besides those guys. But I'm not afraid to drop one of those guys if necessary. And let me tell you, it's not Jonathan Isaac.
All right, well... well, as is custom, I'm going to pick against Doug. And I pick against Doug because he somehow seems to pull any kind of upsets only when I pick against Doug. So I'm going to pick Joel. I'm going to pick the champ, with the hopes that my reign of picking against Doug comes back and bites Joel.
Hey, you can hope all you want, but I'm really hoping to see you in the second round, mister.
Okay. We'll stay on the same side of the bracket while we're here, and then we'll get on the other side. The 4-5 matchup, or should I say the 5-4 matchup, is Mr. Modest against Matt.
Carrick boys!
Carrick boys! Woo! Woo, woo, woo! Things that I'm watching for in this matchup is definitely Jimmy Butler, and Jimmy Harden. A lot of the Jimmies, are problems. And Garland. I don't know what's going on with those guys. I think Garland's going to be back. I think they just kind of sat him. They're going to want him to be out there with LeVert as they get him in. So I'm not really worried about Garland as much. Do I get Beal back at any point during this matchup? That could be big. For Matt, Siakam's been incredible. What about Simmons at the deadline that we were talking about? That could really affect things. Are there any back-to-backs for the Warriors during these few weeks? I don't believe so. I think I already looked at this. So
They could just sit him any random game, though,
Yeah, that's true. As far as Clay goes,
Montrezl, is he going to get traded?
is he going to get traded? Is one of those three centers going to get traded? We don't know.
Outside that, he's pretty healthy.
Yeah, he's very healthy. That's
Donovan
what I'm
Mitchell
saying.
just came back.
Donnie Mitch came back, the Spider. And a lot of it's going to go into if Butler's not healthy, Bam's going to take a step forward. There's a lot of players on our teams that'll kind of go back and forth off of each other. Does Reggie Jackson take a hit when they move Powell to the starting lineup? We don't know that. There's a lot of things that go into this matchup. I like myself to win this one. Steve Nash said today that James Harden wants to stay in Brooklyn, so I imagine that he is going to play on Tuesday, ? But I like my chances of getting a triple-double. And I think I take this one on the road, and I move on to round 2.
Yeah, unfortunately, I also like your team. Just solid top to bottom. And you're not afraid to drop guys when you need to. Hopefully, injuries just catch up with you. Hopefully, Butler. Hopefully, Harden. Hopefully, White and Beal and Garland are enough to just take you out of it. You know what I'd love to, even more than seeing you in the second round?
What's that?
Is not seeing you in the second round. That would be amazing. That'd be fantastic. Give me some Matt Hobert. I'll mow him over.
A lot of this feels like deja vu for me. If everybody remembers last year, I was the 6 going against the 3 and Adam. I didn't have Harden for that game either. I did have Fox who kind of carried me. I got Harden back at the very end of that matchup to move on. And then he had to go out again in the second round against Joel Gibson. And Joel just took it to town because I didn't have 2 of my best players. I don't know what's going to go on with Beal here. Can Jimmy stay healthy? It's literally, I'm watching this movie twice. And, if the same shit happens twice, I don't know what I'm going to do about it. What do you do when you're just in the same track twice? You just got to hope that it goes differently this time. And Matt has a good team, as much as we like to give him shit and stuff like that. He could beat me.
Yeah. One thing I was saying to Brandon, I hate to give Matt credit, but there were not a lot of trades this year. And Matt had 2 trades where he just crushed the other guy.
Yeah.
Just huge impact trades. He might be able to catch you if your health isn't up to par, but I'm picking you.
All right. The next matchup is going to be the 6 versus 3. You've got Cody as the 6 and Steven as the 3. This one's tough for the 6 to win. I think the 6 is one of the lowest. I can't remember if a 7 or an 8. Oh, no, Neiman lost last year as the 1. Is the first round. Never mind, we can't say that anymore.
That's right.
So, I'm going to pick Steven here. I just don't think that Cody's going to have the health. He might be able to do the cycling, but Steven will also cycle. And Steven's relatively healthy. Now, that being said, there are some question marks on Steven's team in so much as, like, Isaiah Stewart.
Is CJ McCollum going to get traded?
Right.
Gary Harris, Robert Williams is just an injury waiting to happen at all times.
Yeah.
Josh Hart just always is getting injured.
Does, oh no.
Evan Fournier.
Gobert was the one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Gobert is going to miss, what is that? Did they play today?
So,
Or is
the
it
update is that he will not play in Monday's game.
Monday's game, yep.
But we don't know going forward past that.
There is some speculation that he might just sit till the All-Star break. So that's a big difference. Whether he just sits Monday's game and is back in Wednesday's game and is going normal, or if he sits the first 10 days of the matchup against Cody, could give him some help. He did compete with you, but the thing is Steven is built differently from both you and me. Steven is built a lot harder to beat than I would say you and I. I mean, I'm not afraid to say that. It's tough, but
No.
Steven's tough. Steven is definitely one of the favorites to win this, and I think he gets by Cody.
There's just a lot of question marks for Cody. He would need Porzingis to come back and be playing, like, real minutes. He would need De'Aaron Fox to be back and playing real minutes. And also playing well. And his cycle would just have to be... It would have to be perfect. He also would need Rashawn Holmes to play, like, the top, like, 40 player that he was supposed to be, but just hasn't been this year.
Yeah.
I'm picking Steven too, which is just crazy. Cody had an incredible draft position going into the season. Every year, he seemed to have a bunch of picks, and he would start to fall apart, and he would just trade those assets for the next following year. And here we are in the last year, and it's all crumbling. Cody, this is your chance. Take it to Steven.
That would be a hell of an upset if it happened. I'll say that. I would be legitimately shocked if Cody, but that would literally at least make his season worth something. You know what I mean? Because then he's got another tall mountain to climb once we get into the last matchup here. It's the 7-2, as we alluded to earlier. It's a rematch of this week's matchup. It's CJ at Kyle. Kyle is relatively healthy, except for KD, obviously. Russell is healthy on his IR, so I don't know how Kyle's going to play this. He can't add until he activates Russell.
He'll just switch Cade over, I would think.
Yeah, he could do that. My thing is I don't know how long Cade's going to be out. I mean...
Yeah.
It could just be a one-day thing. It's not like, oh, he has a broken hip.
Yeah. It's a third straight absence for him.
Yep. So, theoretically, he just switches Cade and Russell, and he's able to cycle. CJ is able to cycle. I don't think anybody has waiver wire money issues. Let me look. CJ has $23. So, he does have enough money to use all of his ads for this matchup in one big, long swing and hope. He made it close. There's no doubt. Like I said, he made it close this week. It was without Kyle cycling. But Lowry's back. Double-doubles are up for grabs. Triple-doubles are up for grabs. I mean, I'll just pull up their matchup. What else was close?
And, I mean, you got, in terms of triple-doubles, you have LeBron and Westbrook as triple-double threats.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, CJ, here's what I'll say, dude. I watched Braveheart today. And you could be Braveheart in this situation. You could be Scotland just sticking it right to Kyle, England in this situation. Dude, it'd be fantastic. We could get you in some blue war paint.
Just the last week, post a small message in the messenger to Kyle, blue face paint. Just freedom.
CJ, I implore you, use every waiver acquisition. Go out there and embarrass Kyle. Remember last year I was team fuck you, Kyle. I think this would really pay homage to what I did last year, and I would love it. I would love it so much. So please go do it. I know you can.
What a house of cards that would be if he got the whole... he got the whole way. He maintained the 2 seed. He's going into the playoffs. He's playing CJ 8-8, and here comes CJ just chopping down the house of cards, just like fucking Abraham Lincoln. No, it was George Washington that chopped down the cherry tree. Oh, man, what a fold it would be for Kyle. I'm picking Kyle. I think he's going to win. I think we're going to see Stephen Kyle in that matchup on that side of the bracket, and hopefully they just kill each other.
I'm going to pick Steven. I'm going to pick CJ. I'm going to go with my guy. CJ is not one to back down from a challenge. I know he's going to go after it with all of his might just because he's that kind of dog.
Is CJ hoping for a Russell Westbrook trade? Like, is that even in the cards? Is it real life? Because I just hear all these stories and I'm like, no way it happens. But what if Russell goes to, like, New York or something like that, right? And he just unleashes holy hell on everyone.
Man. I don't know, dude.
I don't know either. But with that said, we'll probably do around the All-Star break or during the All-Star break, we'll probably do like a recap resurge instead of... So you might not get a video Sunday. We might just wait the first 10 days. Maybe I'll do like just a written recap or something like that. But I hope everybody has a good playoff season, except for Matt, because I play him this week. I hope he has a horrible playoff season.
Matt, go get him, dude. I don't know that I've ever been rooting for CJ and Matt in my life, but here we go. Come on, fellas.
You can do it! Good luck to everybody. Doug, you're going to lose. Wink.
Oh, man. Good luck, Doug.
See you guys.
See ya.